Welcome back to the Papa Meat channel. How you doing? How you doing? Come on in and sit on down because today we're talking about haunted houses. And yes, we've talked about real life haunted houses, but I'm talking about the fun time haunted houses, the one you pay to go to. I mean, right now, Spirit Halloween stores are popping up all over the nation again, prepping us for that beautiful October spooky season. And dare I say, a lot of the haunted houses are starting to get organized and get ready to have a little fun scaring you as well. But today I wanted to talk about, dare I say, the most notorious, self-renowned, scariest haunted house to ever grace the land. Something so vile that people run away in fear. I'm talking about the McKamey Manor. McKamey? Is that right? Okay. For those of you who may have never heard of the words McKamey Manor before in your life, let me give you a quick rundown of exactly what it is. McKamey Manor is a haunted house that calls itself the pioneer of extreme survival horror events. Now, if you have to call your haunted house a extreme survival horror event, to me that's already, if there was a chessboard here of uncomfortable conversations to be had, the pawn has been moved forward. Your go. The entire experience is designed to push people to their absolute physical and psychological limits. This includes, but is not limited to, actors grabbing you, shoving you, hitting you, spitting on you, shaving your head, waterboarding you, and inflicting any other type of torture that a human brain could imagine. They got that for you. You want to get your knees scraped up? You want to get your arms dislocated? I got that. It's right there on the shelf. Let me pick it off for you. It's gonna go great with a bow. The fun thing about the McKamey Manor is that it's not really a haunted house. It's just torture. It's literal. It's just torture. It's a chamber. Yeah, it's a beautiful little chamber. Then you're the star of the show. Isn't that fun? It's a good time. And it all comes from the mind of a power-tripping psychopath who enjoys to see other people suffer. His name is Russ McKamey. And before we go too much farther, I want to let you all know that he was just recently arrested for crimes we're going to talk about later in this video. So as we kind of start to dive down this little rabbit hole, just realize that this man is behind bars for now. We're hoping for a prison sentence, but we'll see. But I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? So the McKamey Manor was founded in 2001 by Russ McKamey, a liberal arts major in theatrical production and an avid horror fan.
What do you think his favorite horror movie was?
Probably Saw. Well, I guess it's 2001. I don't know. He's probably just like, my favorite movies, Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. These movies are so sick. Also, it makes me sad too because I have a liberal arts. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts. I went to a liberal arts school. And I do horror content. Growing up in San Diego, California, Russ was influenced by classic horror films and local haunted houses in his neighborhood. I had a haunted house in my neighborhood, and the guy stopped doing it after like 3 years because people would just go behind the walls and just steal all of his pictures. So all of his family pictures and stuff, they'd be running out being like, oh, I got your family portrait, asshole. And he's like, hey, come back here! In like a werewolf outfit. I was like, well, that's what you get. But during Russ's 22-year Navy career, Russ perfected the art of the haunted house. Whenever I read this for the first time, I was like, well, how does that correlate? Which it's funny because utilizing his skills in psychological operations and team collaboration, he created haunted houses on the naval ships where he served. He perfected the haunted house by making spooky walkthroughs on the ships that he was deployed on. Oh man, Russ makes the spookiest naval ship things, man. I can't wait to see what he does this year. He's like, calm down, boys. Calm down, one at a time. But basically, to summarize it, it's just him and his Navy buddies using psychological warfare on the other unsuspecting crewmates on the ships. Very fun stuff. And actually, it is rather spooky. You ever see that movie Ghost Ship?
Yeah, I was scared, terrified of it. Isn't that the one with where everyone gets their heads cut off?
Yeah, with the line at the beginning. The only good part in the movie. You ran out. After his service in the Navy, Russ decided he wanted to create the ultimate horror experience and, quote, not your standard boo haunted house. Sorry, liberals, but Russ turned around on his own. He came up with the McKamey Manor, claiming as the next evolution in interactive survival horror theater. We're just kind of combining survival and horror into all kinds of things. First was a survival horror experience, now survival horror theater. We don't know which one it is, but it's survival horror. Being a big horror movie fan, his goal was to make this experience as if you're in a real-life horror movie. You are the final girl of this horror film. Oh my God. The videos that they post on social media where people are being tortured are always titled McKamey Manor Presents, almost like a snuff film production company. They take the videos you go through, the haunted house, he records you, but it always has McKamey Manor Presents, almost like he wants to be his own Miramax, or he wants to be his own kind of Dimension Films production company. He wants to be, he wants it to be a title card before his very own Nightmare on Elm Street kind of movie. It was originally located in San Diego, California. The experience was run out of a windowless van, but has since expanded into 3 phases. Sorry, that just got me pretty good. If you can run a haunted house out of a windowless van, there is no other evolution. That is the end all be all. Get in my van.
And they just get lead pipes and start beating
just beat the shit out of them. Well, I wish there was more rooms. Maybe we could cut off half of the van and just make it another room. But then he set up this elaborate system of a 3-phase tier system that you have to go through to really go into the actual manor itself. You're never in the manor. No one's ever been in the manor, okay? I just want to say that. It's a very convoluted system, which the first phase is in Summertown, Tennessee. And if you're able to complete that, then you go to the second phase, which is in Nashville, Tennessee. And if you complete that, then you go to the last phase, which is in Huntsville, Alabama, and then we don't know where the manor is even at because we don't know. So basically you have to go through 3 stages of torture, and then you get to go to the haunted house. Which each experience is specifically tailored to the participant's personal fears and is designed to last 10 hours long, 6 to 10 hours. So you're looking at 30 hours of nonstop torture from this guy. Man, I'm an adrenaline junkie. I can't wait to sign up for this. And Russ will interview you, your friends and family members, and do Google searches in order to dig up dirt on the participants that are signing up for his McKamey Manor thing. I really wish he was just like, so I use Ask Jeeves. And they're like, what? And he's like, Ask Jeeves, have you not heard of that? But you must be at least 21 years old to sign up, unless you have cool parents who are like, oh, you're torturing my kid for 30 hours? All right, well, I'll sign the little slip for you. There you go. Cross the T's and dot the I's. There you go. Have fun, Rebecca.
You know, people are just faking the parent signature.
Yeah, I mean, also, you think Russ is going to be like, hey, did your mom really sign off on this? There's like an 18-year-old like, yeah. All right. And his haunted house, or the manor, is operated all year long and has become so popular that there is apparently a wait list of over 24,000 people trying to get in. Now, let me ask, do you think that that's true? You think there's that many people?
I don't believe it.
I don't think that there's that many people, because if there was that many people too, there'd be so much more video content. Which don't get me wrong, there's a lot, but not 24,000 people waiting, especially for a thing that's open all year round. Nah.
Apparently he does like 2 to 3 people a week.
2 to 3 people a week, my ass. Also, it's like, I like how it's 24,000 people wait list. He's like, yeah, Jiro dreams of sushi. You think that's a long wait list to get in? Sorry, buddy. You don't even know how many people are waiting to get in here. And if this is true, it's insane that there are that many people out there who want to experience this torture. Like, there's promo videos out there that show people, you know, that are going through it, but it's not a haunted house. Like, if you look at a haunted house of like any other haunt in America, they usually show like the building that it's in, and it's like spooky. There's people in costumes walking around, and it's actual footage of people like walking through an experience. Russ's stuff is just you usually trapped in a corner, white trash people screaming in your face, and then just showing people being psychologically abused. And people were like, okay, now that's spooky. Get me in on that haunt, all right, babe? We're going right now. But it's odd because people want to willingly sign up for this, even though I've seen videos of some of the employees choking girls and screaming in their face, or like aggressively taping people's mouths and hands together, and again, screaming in their face. You have to have that. That's probably going to accent everything we say. And people bleeding from their gums, and a lady getting her whole body slammed into a door, and then people almost nearly drowning while they scream in your face. You know, you have to do that, which actually I would rather be drowned, so it would muffle the screaming a bit.
The body slamming video is pretty funny.
The body slamming, let me watch it. Also, the title card every time. They definitely went on some kind of like royalty-free website thing. They're typed in like horror font, and it's like, oh, that looks like fucking scuffed graffiti. That'll do. Also, McKamey Manor 2014 Survival Tips Part 4. This is gonna be good. I need to research this. Jesus! God! Know your surroundings? No, how are you gonna know your surroundings when you're blindfolded the entire time? That bitch got royally surprised. That is evil. And And you're probably thinking, well, Hunter, how is this legal? Which is what I thought as well. And to skirt around any legal issues, they make you go through an extensive checklist of things to do before you're allowed to even participate in the Manor experience. You have to complete a sports physical, which there's a YouTuber named Reckless Ben who is doing an entire series, basically an expose on this entire fiasco. And he even went there and participated in it. And I'm guessing the sports physical is you having to do those exercises. He basically just made him exercise for like 2.5 hours, which one I think it's mostly just used, I think, just to wear you down so you can't probably also fight back or do anything. You have to get a doctor's note.
Make sure you're healthy.
All right, you can go to the haunted house, but be sure to see me in 2 weeks. Goodbye. You have to pass a background check. I mean, that one feels probably, that's probably a legit one to actually do. You have to show proof of medical insurance.
I wonder why.
So you got medical insurance, right? Okay, perfect. We're going to scan that. Let's break her legs. You have to pass a drug test right before you enter the Manor. All right. Once again, not a bad thing. You can't get high on angel dust and be like, rip out my tongue. And you have to sign a 40-page legal waiver, which I am going to go on a limb and say that I don't think that the waiver would probably hold up in a court of law. If I was a betting man, I don't think it would, because here are some of the ridiculous things that are actually in the waiver. And I am not paraphrasing. These are direct. This is text. Okay. Participant fully understands and agrees that they may be fish hooked, which may inadvertently cause rippage to the mouth area.
Like a little fishy?
Yeah, you want to get a little Heath Ledger Joker smile from a fish hook? Can you just sign the dotted line there, sweetheart? Thank you, pretty eyes. Thank you so much for that. Participant fully understands and agrees that it is possible that joints, i.e. jaw, shoulder, elbow, wrist, knee, and hip, etc., may be accidentally dislocated. There's happy accidents here at the Manor. You get it, right? Go ahead and sign that name and be sure the date. Yep. Perfect. Participants fully understand and agree that MK Ultra mind control may be used. Really, that Russ's military experience like coming in here. MK Ultra is in the legal document. And the list goes on and on. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's all public too. You can look it up now, but.
Do you think that is just a scare tactic?
Well, here's the thing. I think yes and no.
Oh, it's both.
I think it's both. I think that they signed it up because they're just like, ooh, this is going to be crazy. Do I think they're doing all of these? No. But do I think that they cherry pick which ones they want to do? Yes. Because then that way too, you get your face slammed into a door or whatever and your jaw dislocates. Then they're like, well, thank God we have that waiver there. But then too, I think that they're trying to weed out the people because you're getting like very mentally disturbed people who want to come here, right?
That's the thing I read. When they do these interviews, they make sure, one, is this person like almost like a beta in a sense? They don't want to pick people who are unwilling to participate.
For people who think, oh, we're going to come here and duke it out and box it out, that's not going to happen. I'm not going to be selecting you.
They're definitely signing people up who are willing to take the kind of torture that Russ McKamey and these actors are wanting to dish out, because essentially this is also just a snuff film, and it's people who are kind of getting off, maybe not sexually, but getting off in a power trip sense of being able to like be a puppet master over somebody.
She's crying. Look at her crying. Look at her. Look at her. Beg. You beg her right now. You're not gonna beg?
And if you have somebody who's just like, you, I'm not doing it, you would never have any experiences, because I feel like the vast majority of people that showed up would be like, I'm not doing this, and then walk off. So you have to weed out the people who aren't serious and get those real mentally deranged people in there who are like, could you hit me with a hammer? Please just hit me with a hammer. This is a spooky haunt. All their teeth just dusted out of their mouth. And even before you sign the waiver, sometimes they just beat the shit out of you, which is a fun way to start your trip. Signing a waiver while you got a black eye.
In a video, they said they used to have this hostage method where it's like you would give them the documents and then they would steal you or kidnap you and then like torture you a little bit and then make you sign it.
Yeah, they would do it would have that windowless van that they probably had from their first iteration. Come in, they beat the shit out of you and make you basically sign the documents. But it's all part of the experience. It's spooky. It's just scary.
Have your friends ever kidnapped you?
No, my friends have never kidnapped me. I'm too heavy, first off.
One time I was sleeping and they kidnapped me and stripped me naked and threw me at an elementary school.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's real. Oh, I was in my underwear. It was a funny joke.
And while the waiver that you sign gives them consent to abuse you for hours, legally, a lot of this stuff just wouldn't hold up in court, which we dug deep for some nice legal advice here, and this is from a Wikipedia page, all right? During the tour, employees of the Manor may physically assault patrons, waterboard them, force them to eat and drink unknown substances, have them bound and gagged, and engage in other forms of physical and psychological torture. Participants might be drugged during the experience.
A little fent.
Yeah, exactly. We might give you fentanyl during this experience, or crack cocaine, or even angel dust. I don't know. One of those might happen. Maybe. Probably not. Looks over his buddy.
The Russian drug where they blow it in your face.
Is it Russia? I thought that was like South American. Because the whole thing was they go up, they do, hey, take me to your bank. And you're like, I want him to have all my money. Whatever. It's fucking crazy. How the do humans think of that shit? Like, what does this do? And the guy's like, oh, you know what I mean? I mean, if you just look at these videos, people are clearly in a state of shock and are experiencing severe panic attacks. I mean, it's like a fight or flight response is happening at all times. And it's so fucking creepy because Russ is just in the background like, laughing like AJ, Big Justice's dad. You look like you're being crazy right now. She's like running through that experience. Blows a crocodile out her face. Take me to your bank. Which I will say that there is some improvement recently for any McKamey Manor diehards out there. If I don't mention this, they might come for me. They did recently add a safe word to the mix. Oh, thank God, because before they didn't. So if you feel like you can't handle the experience anymore, you can always be a fucking pussy and say the safe word. If they want to listen to you, they could also just say they didn't hear you and continue to just torture the shit out of you. Or just maybe blow some more crocodile in your face and then you're, you know, I actually want to be tortured. Perfect, perfect. But apparently some participants have claimed that the safe word is useless and Russ will just keep going and that it isn't over until Russ says it's over. Because once again, you're in Russ's little puppet game and this is a haunted house that you signed up for. And if you got this far, at this point, you're probably wondering, why did I do this? Which, I'll tell you why you're probably thinking that you want to do it. One of the biggest components of the experience is a $20,000 cash prize for anyone who can do the entirety of the manor, all 3 stages, and the actual manor that has never been seen before ever. It's just the name, McKamey Manor, but no one actually knows where it's at. He'll allude to it. Oh, you're not even ready for the manor. It's like, well, what the are we even in then? And it's just a barn or it's a shed that has like some old props, like an old fridge, and they put like fake blood on it, but then they have like a fucking saw box for you to put over your head and they just like drown you and they're like, oh, are you tapping out, pussy? All right, well, no manor for you. But once again, like I said, these sessions or these phases can last anywhere from 6 to 10 hours long, depending on what Russ has planned for you or whatever he's kind of, if he's tired or not or hungry. Big white trash men are just like, ah, never mind, I'm done. I want to get some pizza shit. The caveat is that for every challenge you fail, you will lose $500 from the total lump sum. So basically what he does is he puts you in situations like waterboarding, which if you've never been waterboarded, try it at home. It's a lot of fun. And if you say, oh, I tap, it's $500 off, which, you know, you're probably thinking, well, you know, $19,500 doesn't feel too bad. Well, you're kind of looking at it the wrong way because 500 deducted from 20,000, it's going to take a lot of challenges for them to fail. So it's a big list of things that they're going to do that if you don't say no, you're just going to die. Or he'll do something like, oh, my camera battery's dying, or no, you're doing it wrong, we're going home. So it's impossible.
You're really not stable enough to do this. No offense.
I'm fine, man. I'm physically
it's a
fine.
con. It's a
I feel
con,
great.
isn't it? It's a con,
I'm
right?
fine. If he knows you can do it, he won't let you get to the man.
Exactly.
And to this day, not a single person has completed the entire challenge. Now, I don't think a single person has ever been to the manor portion of it. People might have gone to a couple phases, but no one has ever actually gone through all 3 and then the manor itself, which has led a lot of people to think the manor doesn't exist, which newsflash, it doesn't exist. You don't have to be a fucking rocket scientist to know that. So if you're wondering who is the titan of the McKamey Manor experience, it was a record for 6 hours in the experience in 2014 by a woman named Sarah P. Which we're going through all this stuff and we're talking about all these different locations, and it makes me want to take a second to just say, how does Russ afford all of this? And not just the prize money itself of the 20 grand, but to upkeep a manor, unless you just outright own it, but still that's like close to like $1 million to have a big fucking thing or something, and you're paying employees. And the weird thing too is that you're probably thinking, well, all 24,000 people, I bet you he has to have the down deposits to even be on the list. No, it's free participation. The only form of payment Russ wants is a 50-pound bag of dog food that he can donate to a local shelter. God, you're such a good guy, Russ. All right, you know what? If you're gonna pay me and twist my arm about it, you can give me the pedigree and I'll take it down to the local no-kill shelter. He's saying that to a woman, her face is just like mangled, and she's like, okay, this sounds good. I'll go get that dog food for you. This has been a great experience. The reason he moved from San Diego isn't because of some like grand plan of making something bigger. No, he owed $250,000 in taxes and just moved his operation to a different state. So it just leads to the question, which we've kind of tiptoed around it this entire time. Why does Russ McKamey do this? If he isn't getting paid, why on God's green earth would you want to do this? And the short answer is he's a psychopath. To run an all year, no breaks ever, 3 people a week for how many years since 2001 for free? Now, Now, color me curious, Nick, but I think that you probably have to have a couple screws loose to run that operation, if I had to imagine. The acts that take place inside the manor border on a form of torture for Russ and his viewers, because he streams the events of people going through. He records it and streams it, but when he streams it, he says that there's people in Vegas that are putting money so he can basically just torture you in whatever way. So a guy could put $50 on him kicking a girl in her pussy or something like that, and he's like, sorry, the guy from Vegas is having me do this. So maybe there's like weird snuff sites, or maybe like weird people who get off to it who are donating to him as well that maybe hasn't publicly acknowledged. He gets a kick out of filming and highly editing his videos, like really manipulating the footage that we see.
He always cuts out stuff that will get him in trouble.
Yeah, he always has a way of like the camera's pointed down, or there's a large gap taken out of a video footage, probably because that's the stuff where even with that little cute waiver, I think you're probably gonna get the fucking cops called on you. And Russ seems to take a sick pleasure in hurting these people. Once again, you hear him laughing a lot.
You're ours. You're not gonna quit, sir.
He's always smiling with his big ass stupid fucking mouth. What's fucked up too, I forgot to say this, he called my local rock station when I was younger. Kansas City, there's a local rock station called 98.9 The Rock with Johnny Dare, and Russ called up there because radio DJs are just the worst. And they're like, hey, so you got a crazy haunted house, huh? And Russ was like, oh yeah, it's pretty funny watching people scream. And you know, Johnny Dare's like, whoa, that's crazy. Here's AC/DC. It was always fucking weird hearing that, and then seeing the context now, it's just insane. Because back then, when I heard on the radio, it's just your imagination, him saying it's the scariest thing ever. But no, it's just a white trash dude just slapping people around in a fucking like dilapidated barn. That's all it is. But Russ does cover his tracks, ladies and gentlemen. He does make sure to tell people that if the police come, just tell them it's a game. Just tell the police that we're just joking around, which is just a sick way of gaslighting people into also like going along with your criminal activity, but then also gaslighting you into being like, this is just an experience. You're like, fingers are all broken on your hand. He's like, we're just playing. You remember you signed up for this, right? Remember when you did that? I mean, just gaslighting people. You must be having a great time. Please don't tell the cops that this is bad. Just say that this is a fun game.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, sweetheart. But unfortunately for Russ, there was a couple who signed up for the tour that ended up suing him for misrepresenting the tour and going beyond what even the waiver entailed. Which, if you've gone beyond even what the waiver says, my God, he must have been having a field day. The woman, Avery, goes through absolute hell and is clearly distraught by the end of it. She passed out multiple times, and instead of stopping, Russ made fun of her throughout the entire experience. The bitch keeps blacking out, and he's just like, well, we got a live one here. Devil's advocate. Even if you're like, this is just extreme horror, this is just for people who want to have that kind of life or death edge kind of thing. Same people that like Spelunk or whatever, that like that extreme thrill. To not break it at a point where it is bordering on somebody actually passing out, multiple times passing out, and you just continue to do it, just shows like his complete disregard for anyone's actual safety, and how it's the perfect example of how this is literally his fantasy. It's not about the participants and their experience there. It's all for Russ, which is just creepy, which does fit into the theme of his haunted house, to be fair. See, that's how he gets you. He's just like, well, were you scared? You're like, yeah. He's like, you're welcome.
He also doesn't have any medical staff on board. No one's trained.
Yeah, no. Well, of course there's no medical staff on board. I mean, everyone there is just like weird white trash, like rednecks who are just like, come on, Russ, give her the barbed wire. And you're like, okay. Which all of the employees that are with him now, or at least the majority of them, are some of the actors that help torture people, have been people who have made it through a couple of the phases, and now they work with him. That's at least what we found online. I don't know how true that is, but if it is, then that's like some weird Stockholm Syndrome shit. I don't know how true that is, because I've seen some videos and I'm like, there's no way this guy went through. But Avery, who sued Russ, got quite the surprise when Russ uploaded a 3-hour-long spite video, basically calling her a liar and a big baby. Her experience was, what, 5 minutes long or something?
That's what he says.
Yeah, he says that her experience was only like 5 minutes long, and he stretches that conversation out for 3 hours. 3 hours for that response. What the fuck? The heavily edited video was just to make fun of her and try to refute the claims in her lawsuit. Which also, I want to put out there that he had that couple, Avery and that couple, sign their waivers at a Jack in Box, which I don't know why I just think that's so funny. All right, we can sign this little spooky extravaganza over a couple tacos and some chicken. Then afterwards, on the way to the manor, Avery passes out in the van en route to the haunted house. But instead of stopping, they just slap her awake and scream in her face. He's such a comedically horrible person. Like, this is like some that you would see in like a fucking like early 2000s movie, like a comedy, like Old School or some shit. Which he also talks about how the couple never got any injuries, yet throughout the entire video, they choke him, they slap her, they slam her head against the goddamn wall.
Is she breathing?
Yeah, she's breathing.
I mean, it's a fucking backyard wrestling match at this fucking manor. Well, I didn't get any injuries. It's like, look at this. What are you talking about? You fucking moron. They also bury Avery in a mountain of dirt.
I want you in the dirt. I want to bury you alive, 12 feet under. That's what I want. That's what I want to do.
It's such a huge length to go to just like basically want to kill somebody. There's no other giant red flags to be like, what I wouldn't give just to leave her down there and really know that she's just gone. You know what I mean? Like, what the The whole video is just Russ calling them liars, but then contradicting himself the entire time with footage that he's showing, only helping her case. And there's also many testimonials online for people who have done the tour, and a lot of them share similar experiences throughout all of it. Like, usually afterwards there are the testimonials or like the post, like after you go through the tour, they usually have you record stuff, or people will have to recover for some time and then do it because they're so bruised up. They talk about how they were beaten up by the actors and how they were forced to ingest disgusting foods and fluids and unable to think coherently throughout the experience.
You know it's not real, right? You know it's not real, right?
That's not real.
So even if there was a safe word involved, if you're going through a traumatic situation like this, you're probably so fucking mentally fried that there's no way for you to even actually be like, hey, no, seriously, I'm done. You're probably so shell-shocked that Russ is just like, oh man, they like it too. Also, whenever you're done with the experience, they do force you to do their testimonials, basically saying like, that was so fun, thanks Russ. Put you in a very awkward situation. I mean, you're exhausted. You just want to get the fuck out of there. So a lot of the time these people are just like, I'll just say whatever you want me to, just let me leave. These are the testimonials we're getting, which one of the most disturbing ones in my opinion is Laura B. Viewer fucking discretion advised. My God, her face is swollen to high hell. So if you don't want to see that, well, don't click away because that hurts my video. But in this video, Laura tells people not to try the experience and to stay away. She says it was so horrible and doesn't wish for that experience on anyone. I mean, just, dude, her face, her lips are swollen. Her head is shaved. She looks, I mean, her whole head looks swollen, like various parts. They just beat the out of her. It's unbelievable.
And then there's that creepy guy in the back and the...
Well, yeah, then there's like a guy in the background who is, just to speculate, I'm guessing it's a crew member there to make sure that like, is the video done, or that is she saying the right things? Because in her mind, she's like, hey, seriously, don't show up. This thing sucks. But then Russ is probably in the background like, this is gonna look great when we edit it. There's also Cadis Silvis's exit interview where right at the start, she talks about being too incoherent to even film the video, so she had to wait and film it at home. So this is after the fact. She shaved her head after the event, and then she said, you know, ladies, if you don't want them to touch their hair, just let you know, they basically will. They don't give a f. They'll just shave your head. And now she had to shave her head bald, which once again, how many people have we seen them shave their heads? Like, what the f do you expect? Yeah. Hey, don't touch the hair, all right? Okay, well, hey, fellas, hands off the hair, all right? Yeah, exactly. Whatever. But once again, even she says that it was so messed up and she didn't like it. It's weird because in some of the testimonials even, people were like, oh, it was awesome. Thank you for the experience. It feels so scripted. Also, sometimes they are in the manor still and they're like, what'd you think? Super close to their face. And the guy's like, yeah, it was great. Thanks. Thank you so much. And you're like, yep, this is a sane man right here. He's definitely not trying to say anything just to fucking leave. Which, now that you've seen what the McKamey Manor is like and who Russ McKamey is as a person, why don't we go back to the beginning of the video where, yes, he just recently got arrested. However, as it turns out, Russ wasn't arrested for anything involving this fucking torture chamber. He was arrested for attempted murder and rape of his girlfriend. Yeah, I know. I was surprised too, right? That's kind of weird. The guy shaving people's heads and beating them with pipes and dislocating them and drugging them. Him? Really? Okay, I'll believe it, I guess. On July 17, 2024, police arrested Russ for physically assaulting, almost murdered his girlfriend. Which, you know, I wish I could say it was a surprising turn of events, but Jesus Christ, out of everything that we've read so far, out of all the countless videos we've seen and all this historical stuff, it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people who are going to be like, it's like the video game argument. Violent video games makes violent people. People are going to say like, oh, well, just because he's a extreme horror guy, you shouldn't assume that. But it's like, it's not a horror experience though. It's him simulating physically too, basically killing people and doing deranged shit. Listen, I've seen some crazy movies like Poughkeepsie Tapes, all these like other kinds of like movies. They're a suspension of belief, whatever. And even then you're just kind of like, you know, to each their own or whatever, but it's not real. And it doesn't happen 24 hours a day, 12 months a year. It never, you know, there's never any end. This kind of weird murder fantasy he has, he perpetually lives in it and acts upon it all the time, to the point where, in a weird way, it kind of feels like it was bound to happen.
But he donates dog food.
But he does donate the dog food, so we kind of have to give him some slack, right? It's still pretty fucking new. I mean, this is what, last month?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago is where this is at. So I don't know if this man is going to stay behind bars. I don't know the whole thing. This is just what he was arrested for. And seeing all of this stuff is just fucking disturbing. I mean, like, that's not entertainment. Thrill seekers are an interesting bunch. People spelunking and being trapped in a cave or whatever, but having the mental dexterity to withstand that kind of claustrophobia, or people deep sea diving, doing whatever these extreme things to get this high, is very admirable and shows like a very strong mental fortitude. But people going to just get beaten up, like basically just be tortured for fun, doesn't seem mentally strong. It seems like mentally kind of deranged people doing these things, or mentally disturbed people who are looking for some kind of fix out there. This man has been living in a perpetual fantasy of murder simulation forever. It isn't video games, it's not movies, it's not make-believe, it's him actually hurting people and then getting you to be like, ha ha, yeah, that was fun. Keep this like mental ball rolling of like, ha, we're in on this together, right? See, I didn't try to almost murder you. Dang it, you lived, right? Just kidding. Fist bump. Haunted houses are a crazy thing. I'm such a pussy with haunted houses, dude. Oh my God. Even the Zach Baggins Haunted Museum in Vegas, you have to crawl through this like narrow passage. Well, for me, it was narrow. I'm a big fat ass going through there. Even that was spooky for me. But haunted house, I mean, it's fun feeling afraid. It's fun having that, you know, base level fear come over you. And there's a lot of great haunted houses out there that do it. Even here in Kansas City, there's the Beast and the Edge of Hell. Would I ever go through them? No. Too much of a pussy. There's no way. But what Russ McKamey and the McKamey Manor is doing is not a haunted house. It's just torture simulation. It's just torture over a mentally disturbed guy who's living in the fucking back alleys of Tennessee, performing weird things with even weirder people. I wanted to talk about this today because it's insane that he just recently got arrested. But I remember hearing this guy when I was younger talk about this extreme haunted house, and to see that it's just this is very eye-opening in a very up kind of way. It's just, if you have enough confidence to say anything, people will believe what you have to say. And Russ McKamey was and is his biggest fan. So him hyping up his haunted house, you're gonna get people out there who want to experience that kind of love as well. So I don't know. Obviously, Russ McKamey, McKamey Manor. If you're gonna go to a haunted house, make sure people aren't choking you, beating you with pipes, and drugging you. All right? Have fun out there, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Barry.